Hello, and welcome to Spokane County Spotlight. I'm County Commissioner Mary Cuney. Spring is here, and that means a return to more outdoor activities and baseball season. The Spokane Indians team is here in Spokane County and ready to play baseball. Today, my guest is Chris Duff, president of Spokane Indians Baseball. Welcome, Chris.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Yes, no, very happy to have you here. So, Chris, for our viewers, can you tell us a little bit about yourself so they can get to know you and your path to the Spokane Indians?
Absolutely. I'm originally from Atlanta, Georgia. I went to the University of Georgia for a couple of years, and I did an exchange program to the University of Montana. I thought I was going to be there for 1 year, but I actually decided to become a business major because classes were on Tuesday and Thursday, so I could ski Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And when I graduated, I wasn't quite sure what I wanted to do. I had played baseball growing up, and again was a business major with a marketing emphasis. And I remember sitting in the computer lab, and a friend of mine was going to a sports career seminar and job fair in Spokane. And I decided to tag along last minute. And I met a lot of people from, various basketball teams, hockey teams, baseball teams around the Northwest. And when I met the group from Spokane, it made sense to me. Something about the message they were sharing really made a lot of sense. And from that point forward, I took an entry-level job, moved from Missoula, Montana over to Spokane. I thought I'd be here for a year or two, go on to bigger and better things, but this community grows on you. My wife is from here. I actually met her at the ballpark. We have two kids, a 14-year-old and 11-year-old. We're excited to raise our family here, and I happened to be in the right place at the right time, had great mentors with my career, and I was lucky enough at 26 years old, I became the vice president and general manager of the Indians. And I can't remember, a few years ago I became the president of the team, but again, I've just had a lot of really good leaders around me, a lot of great mentors, and the longer I stay in the Spokane community, the more I can't leave.
Yeah. Yeah, we appreciate that. It does. It does grow on you, and I think it's the people, the community, how everyone comes together, which we'll talk more about. So very excited that you made that decision to come from Georgia to Montana and then on over to Spokane.
As am I.
Yes. So thank you. Now, baseball has been part of Spokane for a really long time, and so can you tell us about the history of the Indians and kind of baseball in Spokane County?
Absolutely. It's quite amazing. Professional baseball actually started in the late 1800s in Spokane, and the Spokane Indians started in 1903. So we're looking at a small business that's been a part of this community for over 120 years, which is unbelievable. There's not many businesses that have been around that long, have had that much impact in the community, but it's something we're really proud of. The history of the team is something that we really embrace. We've been at our current facility, Vista Stadium, since 1958, so that's approaching 60, 70 plus years, and it's home to us, something that we're really proud to be a champion of for the county. We see, although we're a tenant, we really see ourselves as stewards of that facility, and it's something that's really important. And that stadium has seen some really special players come through. The 1970s team was the top minor league baseball team in the last 50 years. Lasorda is the manager, Garvey, Buckner, Ronsay, Charlie Huff. The list goes on and on. So it's really unbelievable from a history standpoint when you have those types of players come through a system and see that on our field in Spokane County and go on to bigger and better things like the major leagues. We've had a partnership now with the Rockies for 4 seasons. We had an 18-year partnership with the Texas Rangers prior to that. And in this short time that we've had with the Rockies, we've seen 20 plus major leaguers come through Spokane, which is unbelievable. It's a pretty neat thing to say. We were a short season team prior to this current partnership with the Colorado Rockies. Now we're a long season team. So moving up those couple levels of baseball, the quality of product on the field has just been unbelievable to see.
Yeah, well, and the community has embraced the team, now, as you say, since the late 1800s. Right. So it really has been part of Spokane. So let's talk about last season. Last season was really exciting. So can you tell us about the season and recap those highlights? I want to let you give us that great feedback.
Absolutely. So again, we've been with the Colorado Rockies for going on 5 seasons. So they've put a lot of prospects on the field for us. They've been a great partner thus far. And last year, they really put a special team out there. From day one, we knew we had a roster that was going to be very competitive. We had some of their top prospects in their system, a really good starting rotation, and we had the MVP of the league on our roster the entire year. And it's interesting that the Rockies have done a pretty good job too of keeping the players in place for the majority of the season. We had a couple of our starting pitchers did get called up late in the season, but the core of our roster stayed together last year. So we actually led from the first half to the second half, so won both halves of the season in 2024. So it was really special on the field. We actually won the championship at Gonzaga, which will lead us into some other conversations I'm sure we'll have shortly, but we had to start a field renovation directly after the 2024 season. So we were unable to play the playoffs at our home at Avista Stadium. So we actually won the championship on the field at Gonzaga. It was really a special partnership with GU. They did a good job. We're very welcoming for not only our team, but Vancouver as well. And during that time, we not only were unbelievable on the field, we had over 255,000 people come through Spokane County's ballpark. That's an all-time high. We've owned this team since 1985. We've never drawn anywhere close to that. So that's something that we're really proud of.
No, and we're very excited, Spokane County, have that many people that get to come out to the ballpark and enjoy it. As I tell people, our golf courses, serve 100,000 people, use our 3 golf courses a year for tee times. And so truly, the stadium is one of those places that we really see as a community asset, where a community comes together.
It absolutely is, and that's really important to us as well. I mentioned earlier, we see ourselves as stewards of the facility. We take a lot of pride in it. We care about the maintenance of the facility. We take on a lot of that maintenance as well. And I think with some of the improvements that we'll talk about here shortly, I'm sure, it's actually going to give us an opportunity to activate the facility even more. So we've been doing a lot of construction the last couple of years. So we've had that 255,000 people visit. That's just for Spokane Indians games. And now we're going to start looking at some other events as well. Our goal is really to activate that Spokane County Fair and Expo Center campus, with Avista Stadium being a piece of that, as much as we possibly can. We want as many eyeballs, foot traffic as we can get through that facility.
Yeah, which is exciting. So you're getting, just a little ahead of me, but that's okay. Yeah. No, but with over 255,000 visitors to the ballpark, that means a lot of popcorn and hot dogs. But to me, there's more to baseball than just the entertainment factor and the game itself. It is big business. Can you give us some idea on the economic impact that the Spokane Indians do bring to Spokane County?
Absolutely. I mean, I do consider us a small business, and when I look at our business, it's really entertainment is what we do for the most part. We own a business that happens to have a partnership with the Colorado Rockies that provides the players and the coaching staff. So what we really focus on are ticket sales, number one, which leads to concession sales, leads to additional sponsorships, because the more eyeballs you have in the ballpark, the more value you create with sponsorships. And we have merchandise as a revenue stream as well. With all of those 4 revenue streams, it takes 25 full-time year-round employees, and we just got done hiring and training. And we've got over 370 seasonal employees for the 2025 season, which is a huge number. Yeah. We're one of the largest employers in the area, something we're really proud of. And from an economic impact standpoint, we're over $25 million a year to the Spokane County community.
Which is so important. And again, it's also, just seeing those people come out and enjoy, and yes, they get to see the merchandise and get to, have that pride. So very exciting for us. So not long ago, Major League Baseball made some big adjustments to their business model. Major League Baseball decided to scale down the number of their minor league teams and eliminated almost 40 minor league teams across the nation. Can you talk about how the Indians ownership group and the community reacted to guarantee our hometown team stayed in Spokane?
It was a challenging time. So the Major League Baseball changes that you referenced actually happened right during COVID. So we were in the middle of 2020, a season that we weren't sure if we were going to have or not have, and obviously we ended up not having it, so it was not a time to be in the event business. So we had 2 of the biggest things that ever hit our industry happen at the same time. So Major League Baseball's restructure, and then also COVID and losing a full season. So it was unsure is how it felt as we were going through that process. We understood what Major League Baseball was trying to accomplish, and what they really were focusing on is the player development system. There's a lot of pressure from universities across the country that put a lot of money into their facilities. So that experience at the college level has continued to increase. And unfortunately, at the minor league level, it hadn't changed for several years, even decades. So it was important to Major League Baseball to include teams that they felt like could make the renovations that were required, communities that supported the team, and luckily we made that cut. So you referenced 40 teams got eliminated, so it went from 160 minor league baseball teams to 120 minor league baseball teams. So we were part of that 120, and we actually moved up 2 levels of baseball. So instead of a short season, we ended up with a long season that starts early April. It runs all the way through Labor Day. But part of that was we needed to be compliant with Major League Baseball's player development pieces by opening day of 2025, which is fast approaching. So we've gone through various phases of construction over the last couple of years. The first thing we did as an ownership group was really look to how are we going to accomplish this. And we first focused on our employees. Again, we're coming out of COVID. We're trying to make sure that we've got our core group. We've built a great business focused on affordable family entertainment and customer service. So we first focused, let's make sure we keep those people. Mm-hmm. Those people are in the community. They have those relationships in the community because we knew it was going to be important to find multiple partners to help us achieve the Major League Baseball requirements, which we were fortunate enough to do.
Yeah, no, it was a time that you and I talked a lot. For our audience, that Spokane County does own Avista Stadium. They own the county fairgrounds and the ballpark. So to make those improvements was a big part of a partnership, which we'll talk about here in just a few more minutes.
Right.
So tell us about this special partnership that the Spokane Tribe has had, with the Spokane Indians, and can you fill our viewers in on how this relationship began and how it has grown so meaningfully and significantly over the years?
It's one we're really proud of. This one, we've always had a good partnership with the Spokane Tribe, but it took a turn in 2006. And I vividly remember we were planning on going through a rebranding process at the time. And we went out to Tribal Council. We wanted to let Tribal Council know we were going to go through the rebranding process. And at the time we said, just want to let you know, we love the name, we want to keep the name, but we're not going to use any Native American imagery. A lot of people don't know that the team is actually named after the Spokane Tribe. So it's not Spokane with Indians as a mascot. We are truly named after the Spokane Tribe of Indians. So we take a lot of pride in that. The tribe takes a lot of pride in that as well. And I'll never forget that meeting in 2006. We were challenged. We went into that conversation thinking that we were just going to share, this is what we're doing, say thank you, and go about our merry way and start designing logos and doing different things. But the tribe asked us the question of, well, why not? Why aren't you using Native American imagery in any of your marks or logos? And we just assumed they didn't want us to, but we had never asked the question. And at that time, I think it really resonated with us of like, we need to have more of a dialogue. It's not just a conversation, a one-way conversation. And it's not just us saying, hey, I want to keep you in the loop. It was truly a partnership from that day forward. Mm-hmm. And since then, we've taken huge strides with our relationship with the Spokane Tribe. At the time, one of the challenges the tribe was facing was that their Salish language, their dialect, was actually a dying language. So there were a handful of elders that spoke the language, and at that time, as one would pass away, that's one less person that was speaking Salish. So they really wanted to work with us and use the team to find a way to bring some attention to the language, make it cool for tribal youth as well. So we started working with them to come up with some symbols, because it wasn't a written language, it was a spoken language. So we started coming up with some symbols that meant different things, and we came up with a logo that used the Salish language. And you can see on the hat on the table here, we have that Salish script across all of our jerseys, not just our home jerseys, but our road jerseys. So we are promoting this partnership not only in Spokane County, but across the entire Northwest region. We're really proud of this again, and this is something that has gotten national attention. Our jersey is actually in the Baseball Hall of Fame, which is unbelievable. Yeah, it's pretty cool to have Spokane County's team in the National Baseball Hall of Fame in Cooperstown. New York Times and all kinds of different national media outlets have covered this story multiple times, and it never fails. Multiple times a season, we get a call or someone comes up to us in the stands like, how can you still be the Spokane Indians after all the Florida State Seminoles and the Washington Redskins and all the things? I get so excited. I'm like, well, let me tell you, this is how we can do it. We actually have a partnership. The tribe takes a lot of pride in this. But everybody just assumes that we're the Spokane and the Indians, but we're not. we are a team that's truly named after the Spokane tribe.
Yeah, I think it's
pretty cool.
pretty amazing,
Yeah.
and it is a really cool partnership.
Yeah.
And I think holds to the history of the team and the history of our region. So
Absolutely.
So I do know you get a lot of calls, and it was kind of what everybody was changing their names here a few years ago, and so I think it's great that the Spokane Tribe of Indians really stood up and said, no, we want to keep that history. We want to keep our,
And
that
I give
connection.
them a ton of credit. I mean, they really challenged us and pushed us into a spot where we had to rethink what we were doing, and it came out to just an unbelievable partnership.
I want to touch on the public-private partnership and how well we work together. I'm excited for you to share more details about what's planned for the stadium's ongoing improvements.
Absolutely. Well, we've accomplished a lot. 3 or 4 years ago, I vividly remember being in a situation where we didn't know what the path was. At the time, we first put a master plan together, and the goal of the master plan was, the first question was, can we renovate this facility? Do we need to look at building new? And fortunately, all the stars aligned, and we kind of clearly started going down the path of renovation versus new. Right.
And that was, in conjunction with the county, our Parks Department, working with you, since it is our facility, to really, understand and really look at it together.
Absolutely. No, we clearly identified that, this needs to be a partnership from day one. So, we contributed to that master plan, the county contributed to that master plan, and the purpose of that plan was to ask ourselves new versus old, and new was $100+ million.
Yes.
Renovate was in the $20 million range, so that 20 is less than 100, so we started going down that path. But it also made sense that, we really like the location of the facility. We've had a great long-term partnership with the county. We bought this team in 1985 and have worked closely with the county on a lot of renovations over the years. Mm-hmm. This was our heaviest lift by far, but we also stood side by side with Spokane County, and we were able to get other partners as part of this project too, which is unbelievable. So I vividly remember sitting with Scott Simmons and myself out at the Spokane City Council meetings, and we were telling our story, and there was a lot of education that needed to happen of, wait, I thought Avista Stadium was one of the best in minor league baseball, which it was. Why does it need all this money? So we had to tell the story on what the requirements were that Major League Baseball did implement, why we needed this funding, why this path made the most sense. And the county was side by side with us the entire way. We were successful in going to the state of Washington and secured a significant amount of funding from the state as well to help us with this project. The team has put in money, and the county stepped up big time and committed to a large percentage of this project as well. So it's always been a very, very strong public-private partnership. And I think through the collaboration and the challenge that we faced during COVID and the restructure of the minor league baseball system, I think the partnership grew between the county, who owns the facility, as you said, and the team, who's a tenant. And we were able to get other municipalities really to understand what we're trying to accomplish, and they became partners as well.
Yeah, and a significant one of those is the city of Spokane Valley.
Correct.
They really, have stepped up, which the stadium actually does sit within the city of Spokane Valley. So very excited for them to come along too as part of the partnership.
Yeah, it's been great. It's, I think the team did an okay job with the city of Spokane Valley prior to this partnership forming. So that took some education as well, both on our part and their part. And we had to expedite it because we had a short time frame to get these projects done. So I give the city of Spokane Valley a lot of credit for being really open and understanding what an important asset this is to our community, what it means to Spokane Valley, what it means to the county and the region in general. So I give them a lot of credit for coming into that conversation with an open mind and being really one of the first to step up to the plate and provide some funding for the project. Yeah,
it was exciting. So let's talk about some fun things. So for those at home watching and who have been to Avista Stadium, they may be familiar with the original Recycle Man, who helped fans recycle their ballpark trash. And now you've added Ribby and the Red Band Rally campaign. Can you share more about these environmental initiatives and the important role for the fans at the ballpark and in the community for these environmental initiatives?
Well, we love mascots. I'll start there.
Yes, you do.
Minor league baseball is known for our mascots, and one of the things that we try to do, we don't just want to have a mascot that doesn't mean anything. We want it to have some legs and some depth to it, and we look for strategic partners whenever we introduce a new mascot as well. And Recycle Man is something that we started 12 to 15 years ago, and it was really the kickoff to our campaign that not only included a recycling piece to it, but it's got a composting component as well. And we went from starting to recycle to having a goal of being a zero waste community or a zero waste stadium. Spokane County Solid Regional Waste has been a great partner in that project as well. So we have 60 plus 3-stream areas around the ballpark where you've got both landfill, you've got recycle, and you've got compost. So it's something that we spend a lot of time on. It's really important to us. And then our Red Band Trout campaign is something that, you know, we really wanted. He's really cute.
He's very cute.
So he is a rally mascot for us. And the story behind the rally mascot is that there was a team in minor league baseball that had a camel as a rally mascot, and we wanted a rally mascot as well. So we were trying to come up with a creative way to have a mascot that made some sense and again had some depth to it. And we came up with this idea of rallying people around the Spokane River. And we have this local red band trout that's not only important to our river, but it's also important to the Spokane tribe. So it's got a couple of connections there. And I kid you not, the first day that we introduced Ribby, the red band trout, as our rally mascot, we sure enough came back, you know, late in the 8th inning, came back, rallied to win. So it was perfect. I think the Spokane Review headline was hook, line, and sinker on that day. So it's one that, you know, these community campaigns are something that's really important to us from an entertainment standpoint, but also we have an obligation. You know, from a team perspective, you know, we have this unique platform that we've been given, and we want to make sure we use it to positively impact the community as much as possible. So we're doing that through these initiatives, such as our Zero Waste campaign and also our Red Band Trout campaign as well.
No, I love it. So what about the Spokane Indians Fly Together campaign with Fairchild Air Force Base, which is another community project? You guys are just, it's perfect. And I will. We'll give the little Casey 135 here.
Casey the mascot, who he'll be a big part of our show this year. That's one we're really proud of all the things that we do, but that's another one that we're really proud of as well. That's unique to us, and Major League Baseball has actually tried to work with some other communities around in the minor league system to form some additional partnerships with Air Force bases around the country, but that's one that Fairchild deserves a ton of credit. They did a lot of legwork on it. There was a whole federal approval process to even come up with this concept. So again, we started with a mascot, and we wanted to highlight, you know, Fairchild Air Force Base, which has obviously been a long partner in our community, in our county. We've had a good partnership with them forever, but this was the moment where this took the next step as well. And we've taken our players out. We've got a whole merchandise line with all these campaigns as well, which each one has a donation component. So it's giving back to different initiatives with each one of the campaigns. The Fairchild one actually gives back to Fairchild families. We have a Fairchild family out as many times as we can a year. We've had, you know, someone that's come back from Afghanistan reunite with a family on the field. So there's so many legs to the partnership with Fairchild Air Force Base, and just what a great, you know, piece of our community that is. And again, Major League Baseball started like, how did you pull that off? That's something that we want to try and do in other markets around the country. So again, this is a way that we use our platform to just try and draw attention to things that we feel like are important in our community and are things that we really want to highlight.
Yeah, which I think, I mean, you do such a great job. I mean, truly our team, you know, I've been to other teams across the nation, and I think the Spokane Indians do the best job at this. So there are other exciting and new things that are happening. And so what else do you have planned for 2025 as the season starts to take place?
Yeah, we've got our team in place, which is great. We have 30 players that have reported to Spokane. 15 guys have spent time with us before. Our manager is back again. So we've got some continuity, which I think will lead to a competitive team this year. So we're excited to get things started on the field for sure. We've got 21 fireworks nights, so that's something that's really important to us. It's just all these different themes. There are certain things that are staples. We've got the Rosars Family Feast Nights as well, which are one that really draw well and are something that, you know, it's going to be the largest gathering in Spokane County on that night every time we do it, which is really neat. And we've got the old staples, we've got Storybook Princesses, and we've got Star Wars and all those types of things. And again, we're affordable family entertainment. And our target market are young families, so we really focus our themes on those types of things. We've got Bluey coming out, which is new this year. I've got older kids, so I'm not real familiar with Bluey, but apparently he's very popular with the young kids. And we've got all kinds of other things that we're doing this year as well. So it's going to be a fun season. We're really looking forward to it.
No, I'm excited. And yes, those family feast nights are usually a sellout. So, and tell me, how many people does Avista Stadium hold?
We're just over 6,800 people, and we'll average somewhere in the neighborhood of 4,000 people per game with our long season. So we've got the spring season. We kind of look at it as a spring season and a summer season. The summer we'll average 5,000 plus, and the spring we're kind of in the 3,000 range. So we ramp up, as we get closer to the summer season as well.
As the weather gets
better. Correct. Yep.
So, yes, no, which is exciting. So any new rules that Major League Baseball are bringing down this year to the minor leagues?
So nothing this year, but there has really been a focus from Major League Baseball on trying to create more runs, more excitement to the game. So a couple of the things that we have done the last few years and been able to implement at the stadium is a pitch clock. So that has sped up the game and just keeps more action. You've also maybe have noticed our bases went from 15 inches to 18 inches. So that encourages more base running, more steals, again, more action in the game. And then also they eliminated the shift. So you have to have two infielders on each side of second base as well. And really all of it is to try to increase offense as much as possible and more runs. So
where can people go to find out more about the Spokane Indians?
You can always come visit us.
As we're getting to the end of our show here soon.
Absolutely. You can always come visit us down at the stadium. We have normal business hours. Our website is SpokaneIndiansBaseball.com, or you can call us at 509-343-6886, which is auto. So we've got multiple ways you can reach us, but we always welcome you down to Avista Stadium. We want as many people as possible to enjoy the county's facility.
Very good. Thanks, Chris. I know I'm excited for the season to start, as Commissioner Chris Jordan is as well, who is also an avid fan. So we love to be out at the baseball stadium. We appreciate the partnership with you and the team and all you do for Spokane County. Thanks for being my guest today. I'm County Commissioner Mary Cuney, and thank you for joining us on Spokane County Spotlight.